All right, are you ready for our sit-down Thursday night? Well, Friday, depending on when you're watching this video. I hope you like hearing the air conditioning fan on, because that's what's going to happen. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, in the somber mood, because I just had to watch the LA Lambs that beat us last week get their season started with a victory over the Raiders and beating the Minnesota Vikings and getting all their players healthy and being out-coaching every other team. And when is that going to happen for us? Probably never. That's why I'm wearing the LA Raiders hat. Because let's be honest, Raiders haven't won or been a winner of a Super Bowl for over 40 years. 40 years! Let that sink in. 1983, last Super Bowl victory. I know we went to a Super Bowl in 2001. I went to that game, spent $5,000 of money that I didn't have to watch them get a Super Bowl sabotage. That was great. Best times of my life. Who held the playbook? Gruden, Callahan. Who was in Mexico partying it up with prostitutes at Adelitas? Some people know what I just said there. Some people have no clue, but Adelitas. 40 fudging years. Oh my gosh. Wearing my Tim Brown Hall of Fame 81S shirt. 2015 Hall of Fame. Thought this shirt was going to hopefully meet my favorite Raider player, Tim Brown, at the Chico Beach. But he decided to play golf instead of showing up. Did he care about his fans? I don't know. Do the Raiders care about their fans? I don't think so. What are we going to do on today's little episode? Well, we're going to talk. That's why I'm telling you stories, because we're going to do a game preview of the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Raiders at home in our stadium. We talk a little bit of updated news, a little bit of information right now. Then we're going to get into a long-winded game preview. If my microphone goes out, that's the end of the video. I'm just saying. I only got one microphone. It works when it wants to work. All right, let's start ranting the news like I like to do. Davante Adams is a bitch. That's all I'm going to say. He's having meetings in the locker room after the games telling them how they can win. Look, I've only been here for 3 days, but I'm the fucking GOAT. I'm going to tell y'all how to win, okay? We need to see you on the sidelines cheering the team. That's the type of energy we need. We need to see you guys cheering on the sidelines, cheering your team. Like when Breece Hall caught that big 20, 30-yard pass, got toward to the red zone. Nobody was cheering. How are we going to win if you guys don't have the right energy and if you're not cheering on the team every play? What the fuck was that, Davante? What were you doing on our team on the sidelines? Okay? You always say you're there to help people, to lead people, to help them win, to bring the energy, to create a culture. What the fuck? I hope these Jets fans and these media reporters are not stupid enough to fall for that bullshit that you're saying, okay? I just watched Thursday Night Football. They had Tony Gonzalez. He's a bitch. They had Andrew Whitworth from the Rams. He's a bitch. They had Fitzmagic. He's a bitch. They had Richard Sherman. He's a bitch. Talking about Davante Adams and that speech. And they were all like, good for him. He needs to bring that to the team, because he knows what's going on. What the fuck? Y'all motherfuckers are not seeing the lies behind everything he fucking says. This diva bitch Davante Adams. He's in it for himself. He is a narcissistic bitch. He's a selfish, narcissistic bitch. And in his press conference, where he was asked about his post-game speech, he started explaining, I'm trying to find the energy. A lot of players on this team don't know what it's like to win, to be a part of a good team. And, and I don't even know why they didn't have the energy. I mean, because Donald Trump showed up to the game. I don't know if it was because of me. He fucking said that. He said Donald Trump showed up to the game. I don't know if it was because to see me. You narcissistic, selfish prima donna. I don't know if it was because to see me or whatever, but our team needs to have the energy. And I could have had a 300-yard game, 3-touchdown game. That would have been the dream. That would have been the great start, but it didn't happen like that. But Donald Trump probably came to see me. All right. CTESPN number 3 is Davante Adams. And what the fuck happened to the Taco Bell commercials? They've all been gone. Well, he's in New York now. He'll probably do some deli commercials for Catch's Deli or something like that. I don't fucking know, but that's ridiculous. Just listen to everything Davante says. He's such a narcissistic, selfish, statistical, thinks he's the GOAT, the greatest thing to ever fucking live, because you had a few winning years in Green Bay, never winning a Super Bowl, though. But yeah, you're the GOAT, Davante. So while I was thinking about that earlier, I started thinking about Jakobi Meyers on our team. And Jakobi has had an injured ankle for about 3 weeks now, maybe 3.5. And on a press conference yesterday, Antonio Pierce said, hey, do we have any update? Or last week, do we have an update on Jakobi Meyers? How's his ankle coming along? And then Antonio Pierce says, he'll be out there. Basically to shut down all the reporters. Oh, he'll be out there. So that means, he's on his way back. And that's what he said last week on Wednesday. Then he practiced on Thursday. Then he practiced on Friday. And he was held out of the game on Sunday. And now we started this week again, the 3rd week. And he's already missed 2 games. And then the reporters asked him yesterday on Wednesday, what about Jakobi Meyers? And he'll be out there. And he went out and practiced on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, I don't think he practiced today. He'll probably be limited tomorrow. And then come Sunday, he'll probably be held out for the 4th game in a row. Or 3rd game, which I got to do my math. But still, it got me to thinking that I believe the Raiders are silently tanking. And they need a story to blame for every loss every week. So they just added Desmond Ridder to give us hope. They need to have a hope story to begin the week. From here on out, they need to have a hope story. And they also need to have a sabotage story or something to blame at the end of the week for the loss. That would be tanking. But it would be silently tanking, where you give the Raider fans hope in the beginning of the week. And then you say, oh, it's because of this excuse why we lost. They've already built up a bunch of excuses in there. Penalties and turnovers, injuries, new quarterbacks coming in and out. Whatever else the excuses that are built into the background that some of y'all are believing in. But I started to think in a conspiracy manner. This is only speculation. But week 9 is the trading deadline. Raiders ain't going anywhere. They're probably silently tanking. And a lot of receivers are starting to be traded. Jacoby Myers is an asset. I know he's our only asset. You think they're shopping him to trade him before week 9? Is that why he's constantly being told he's not going to play every Sunday, but he practices all week? Are we just accruing assets every couple weeks? I don't know. I posted that theory on X or Twitter. You guys can respond to it if you want. Because I have Jacoby Myers on like 5 of my fantasy teams. Because he was one of the only supposedly starting wide receivers I could get on waivers. And I keep holding on to him, and he keeps practicing, and I'm like, all right, he might even at least play. So I can see him with Gardner Minshew again, or maybe get like 8 to 10 points a week. I don't know. All right, now for all the Max Crosby questions that have been coming up, Max Crosby answered it and shut everybody down, the trade rumors, the other day on The Rush podcast. That's what people are saying. People are sharing the clips of Max Crosby saying, I don't know the exact words, but, dude, I'm a Raider. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be here. I want to be here. I'm a Raider. I want to be here. And then Raider fans are posting, yeah, that's why I love you, Max. You want to be here. You're a Raider. You're a Raider for life. I get all that. All right. But real quickly, just shut down your fandom of Max Crosby. Shut it down. Shut it down. I love Max too. He's the best. He's the ultimate. He's awesome. He'll put his life on the line for the team. He does all the time. Yeah. But shut it down for 1 second. 1 second. Shut down your Max Crosby thoughts. Listen to the words he said. I want to be here. I want to. Hey, just because you want doesn't mean you are. Okay? Will Max Crosby be traded by the deadline? It's still a possibility. Oh, Max shut it down, Mikey Raider. He shut it down. He wants to be a Raider. All right, let me cut back to a scene from 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. Let's cut back to a scene of the Raiders press conference with a excommunicated Raider named Davante Adams. This is him in that press conference. I don't know what these internet rumors are. Man, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here, okay? I want to be a Raider. If I didn't want to be here, I'd already be gone, okay? I want to be here. I want to help build this thing. I want to be here. I'm a Raider, okay? Anybody else is saying it's bullshit. Okay? If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Didn't Davante just say, Max Crosby said the same shit? Didn't Davante say that same shit basically 3 weeks ago? But I get you. Max is a different player. I trust that. I believe in y'all. Max wouldn't do that. I don't think he would either. But the point is, it happened before. And then something happened with, if you guys believe what Davante was saying that week, Then something major happened. Oh, it's because Antonio Pierce liked the tweet. That's why Devontae requested a trade. Y'all stupid. Stupid! Devontae wanted out. The reason he was mad at the press conference is because they were finding out his motherfucking secret. That's why he was mad. Because his secret became public. When your secret gets found out and they're like, oh, you're cheating. What are you talking about? Shut up. I ain't fucking cheating. I want to be here. God, I don't care what you hear. I want to be here. I'm here now, right? If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. Again, that's not Max Crosby. But I'm just pointing some shit out. These are called truth bombs for those that are willing to listen. But something must have happened. But with Devontae, he was already out the door. But something could happen with the Raiders. No matter what Max Crosby says, I believe in his heart he wants it to be true. He'll try to make it true until he can't. But that's all I'm saying. It's just not saying he'll be traded. Not saying anything. I'm just saying beware. Because this Raiders organization will make a player want to leave a team in 20 hours after they make a post like that. Or a statement like that. This fucking team, man. But I love you, Max. Thank you for trying to calm Raider Nation's nerves. But, you know, it didn't calm my nerves. It just made me think that the Raiders are actually probably thinking up a scheme to trade you somehow. And I think it would be, honestly, Max, if you were somehow to be able to go to Detroit this year within a week or two, I don't want to see you go. Of course I don't. We might be one quarterback away from winning next year. But, I mean, I'd be happy for you if you did. I wouldn't hate you. I hate Devontae because he did it like a bitch. I wouldn't hate you, Max. This organization ain't doing you right at all. And you still putting up with it. You a king, Max. All right, I'll leave it at that. All right, guys, so let's get into my long-winded Kansas City versus the Raiders preview. We're going to lose. That's it. That's all I got. Maybe I'll give a score prediction, but there it is. There's my game preview. We're going to lose. Oh, why are we going to lose, Mikey Raiders? Why do you think we're going to lose? All right, put it this way. The Kansas City Chiefs won a Super Bowl in our house. You think they're not going to beat this team this year? We beat them last year, Mikey Raider. Mikey Raider. Antonio Pierce knows how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They are a familiar opponent. That's what Antonio Pierce said all off season on the Max Crosby podcast. They are a familiar opponent. We know how to beat the Chiefs. We beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day. Antonio, you didn't beat the Chiefs. The Raiders players beat the Chiefs. They had swag. They had momentum. Ain't none of that shit here right now. None of it. And that fucking puppet fiasco that happened in training camp with a rookie 7th round pick being forced. That's right. I believe they forced him to hold that public for the media consumption. Only created more controversy. The puppet of Kermit the Frog. What do you think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to do to us this year? The way we're looking, with no pride, no swag, no nothing. Do you think we're going to beat them because they're a familiar opponent and we have the playbook to beat them? A lot of teams have the playbook to beat them. But do they? Nah. Because those motherfuckers on the other sideline are out coaching everybody, out playing everybody. They've played together for years. They know each other's in and outs. We're going to lose, bitch. But if there is a game that Antonio Pierce can use his mouth to try to pump them up to play as best as they can under this crappy regime, it's this game. At home, our energy will be ready and available till it's not. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some passion, some excitement, and I want to see this team not give up. They're going to face adversity. They might come out strong in the first half. It might be a close game. But what's going to happen in the second half when they go up by 17 or more? Will this team quit, start infighting? What's going to happen to this team when they go down to the Kansas City Chiefs somewhere in the second half, the third quarter, by like maybe 17 points or more? And I think that's going to happen. We just don't have the talent to beat them. I want to see this team continue fighting till the end. But I saw an interview with Jack Jones the other day at the locker. And I don't know why it is, but every time I watch an interview with certain players, I just get the feeling that they're on like some sort of drugs or narcotics or physical enhancement things or ketamine or painkillers, whatever it is, to play football. And I see that a lot in a lot of players. I saw that with Darren Waller at the end of his career before he went to the Giants with the Raiders. And again, I can't prove it. I don't know if the drug mules for the NFL find out the truth. I don't know. But I saw that from Jack Jones a little bit. Looked like he was off with his words or he doesn't know how to speak properly. But that dude, I don't know, man. I could see players like Jack Jones, if they're having a bad game or something like that, fighting with themselves. You know, like where they're realizing the season is actually over and it's setting in, because Jack Jones doesn't have an interception all year. He came on strong last year, but he hasn't done anything this year in terms of interceptions. And then remember, he got benched for a game. So it's like a lot of things are closing in on certain players like him, or they feel the pressure. And I want to see if Antonio Pierce can continue to control these players with the more and more adversity that we're about to face in the coming weeks or in the coming games. I want to see if Antonio Pierce can keep this team together, if he can keep them motivated on a week-to-week basis, and that would prove if he's becoming a better coach. So that's what I'm looking forward to. The Kansas City Chiefs did everything they can to try to win games, unlike the fucking Raiders. We went out and signed Desmond Ridder off of a practice squad. And if Gardner Minshew throws any turnovers, they're probably going to throw Desmond Ridder in to have a reason to tank the game. That's just my opinion or my theory or my speculation. But the Kansas City Chiefs did everything they could to win, and they went out and traded for DeAndre Hopkins, who we all know how this happens in Raider legacy and Raider lore. They get a player 2 or 3 days before our game, and they ball out. Or they have a rookie player that's never played an NFL game before, and then they play the Raiders, and they ball out. Well, we all know the storyline for DeAndre joining the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know what's probably going to happen, which kind of always happens to the Raiders. He's going to ball out in some form or fashion. Patrick Mahomes has had a bad year fantasy football-wise, hasn't scored over 16 points in fantasy football all freaking season. And against us, he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins, and he's probably going to score over 20 points, and he's going to ball out. This is the Kansas City Chiefs, Even though they're 5-0 or 6-0, undefeated, this is their get right game for fantasy stats because everybody gets right against the Raiders. As I spoke about a minute ago, this is the Kansas City Chiefs get right game. Mickey Raider, you're so negative. You're so negative. No, I'm just factual, bitches. Raiders lose to the Kansas City Chiefs 34-20. Nah, you know what? I'm not even giving the Raiders 20 points. Well, Kansas City Chiefs defense ain't that good. All right, Kansas City Chiefs 37, Raiders 20. I'm giving the Raiders 20 points by luck and magic somehow. How about that? Let's go, Brock Bowers! Since that's the only thing we have to root for on this team. And this team is just psychotic and stupid, right? The last 2 weeks, we faced run defenses that were not very good. And we've been trying to establish the run all year. And we finally get defenses that we can run against. And the Raiders go away from the run and try to pass without Devontae Adams, our starting quarterbacks. Go figure. Play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song now. Some people actually hummed the theme song in their head while I was dancing and understood what I just did there. Raiders lose 37-20. It's going to be another tough week for the Raiders moving ahead. And I predict infighting this week between certain players and more benchings ahead to try to prove their point. What are the odds that Desmond Ridder plays in this week's game? I'm going to give it 50%. What are the odds Jacoby Meyer plays in this week's game? I'm going to give it 30%. That theory will reveal itself later. All right, I talked for 30 minutes. I love you guys. I really do. I'm still going to be a Raider for life, even through the pain and the bullshit. I'm just going to have realistic expectations and hope the team looks a little bit better every week. And Antonio Pierce can finally learn how to coach through adversity. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider, and I'll see you on the next one. Maybe I'll go live this weekend. Stay tuned to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider donating if you feel like supporting me, if you like my content, if you like hanging out with me, talking Raiders. I appreciate your support. God bless.